And you can also upgrade your weapons and armor at the blacksmith in order to make them stronger for your catalyst game, as well as give you guys some.
Hello， 123。
没游戏玩了，只能买啊。研究研究，这个人说的还挺好，但是英文我不是很好。他这个人玩了40个小时。
嗨。
嗨。你看他拿的都是一些比较中后期的装备。哦，他们不允许打超过4个 boss。
你买不到 Steam 里的吗？
我的电脑配置没有这么好。
港服。
And we did play with different play styles. I played with dual wield, sword and shield, magic, not magic. So I want to talk about different play styles as well as kind of like how the game plays for that first chunk. And the first thing I want to talk about when you're immediately going to notice when you're playing Lords of the Fallen is that it has much less of a reliance on blocking than Souls games do. Shields in the beginning part of the game don't have a lot of physical protection, usually somewhere between 30 to 40% when you block, which means you are going to take some damage when you block, basically every time. But they made it a little bit more forgiving because essentially what happens when you block now is you have a wither mechanic that makes your health kind of like grayed out, and then if you hit enemies, you can regain that before they hit you again. Kind of like Lies of P, if you're familiar with that. Very similar mechanic when you block in that game. If you attack afterward,
反正没事带个盾牌就对了。
That happens in this game as well on block. So unless you're, very good at getting your health back without getting hit, you're not going to be blocking as much. You're going to be relying more on dodge, rolling, and parrying. And the game has 2 different dodges. It has a dodge and a dodge roll. Tapping dodge once does kind of like a sidestep, and tapping it twice does a dodge roll if you need to roll further or to extend your dodge. And parrying works, similar to the Souls games where if you tap it at the right time, you do some posture damage to the enemy. It doesn't always guard break them like it would in Dark Souls or something like that. But you do some posture damage, particularly to like harder to kill enemies. If you parry them a couple times, you can usually stagger them. And enemies have like a posture mechanic, not unlike Sekiro, where if you deal enough damage to them or if you parry enough of their attacks, they kind of get staggered if you do like a kick or a heavy attack, and then you can do like a devastating attack on them. And another thing that I want to mention is that weapon movesets seem extremely varied in this game, and you have tons of different inputs. You can hit different buttons at the same time to do different attacks. You can do spinning attacks, running attacks, rolling attacks. There are so many different attacks in this game with each weapon type that it's incredible, in my opinion. I was not expecting so many different attacks with each type of weapon, and I think it's something that players are going to be impressed with immediately, coming from games like Elden Ring and Dark Souls.
晚上好，现在玩游戏实惠的方式还是买游戏主机 SSS 吗？
And there are also 3 different types of magic in the game. You have
对的，还是要买叉。
Radiant are kind of like your miracles. Inferno is kind of
叉便宜。
sorceries, and then you have Umbral, which is kind of
PS5 的话只能租。
Umbral requires a catalyst that uses both Inferno.
你看他这个魔法还威力还挺大的嘞。昨天那个大叔卡了很久的这个铁头怪，你看，放魔法几下就搞掉了。149一下，你看。也可能这个账号比较牛逼。
cycle through the spells you want as you're fighting. In this game, you can have like up to 3 or 4 spells slotted into your catalyst, and then you'll hold left trigger and press whatever button it is to cast that spell, so you can cast different spells without having to cycle.
它这是双点的魔法，不是吗？
And just like the Souls games as well, there are different catalysts that are better or worse that, you know, are available for each type of magic, and you'll find them throughout your playthrough. You can upgrade them so they have better scaling, etc. And your character progression works very similarly to the way
它这游戏里边这个3种魔法的克性很明显的，有些人就是火抗很高，有些就肾抗很高。
use it to increase your attributes at vestiges, which are like the bonfires of the game. And you can also upgrade your weapons and armor at the blacksmith in order to make them stronger.
然后物理远程的话，它有这个弹药限制。
Rings and amulets as well. There are 2 rings stronger for your catalyst, and you know you'll find rings and amulets as well. There are 2 ring slots and an amulet slot in the game, so you can slot those to make your character more powerful. And there's also equip load in the game, so your rolling is going to be based on whether you're light, medium, or heavy. Heavy, obviously, fat rolling, light having better dodges. So you're going to manage your equipment through this. There's a little bar on the screen you can see that kind of shows you what that looks like. And there aren't separate weapon sets in the game. Like, you don't have multiple weapons equipped at the same time. So you just have one weapon set and usually your catalyst. And that's like your weight. And then if you want to change, you switch your weapons, etc. And you can dual wield in the game too, which is great. And the general gameplay loop is very similar to Souls in that, like, you have like an area to explore, like a world area, and there's different ways to go within that area, and they're all kind of interconnected to different areas. If you go left, maybe that connects to a new area, and if you go right, maybe that connects to a new area, but at some point they might come back together in a different area, etc. It's very interconnected, the game, which is fantastic. And exploration in Lords of the Fallen is easily my favorite part of the game. There is stuff hidden everywhere in this
Steam 港区没有上架吗？
Steam 有，但 Steam 好贵啊
，Steam
要280几块钱呢。
The level design is incredible. The shortcuts are very well done. And they have a mechanic in this game that I talked a little bit about in the previous video that allows you to jump back and forth between like the Umbral Realm and your realm. So what happens is as you're exploring, eventually you'll need to shift into the Umbral Realm because you'll come to like a dead end, can't figure out where to go. You'll shift into the Umbral Realm and then everything will change and you'll find ways to go that you couldn't before. You'll find new loot hidden in different places, etc. And the Umbral Realm is much more unforgiving than the regular realm. As you're in there, more and more enemies will start coming after you, and eventually, if you're in there for too long, some very, very powerful enemies will come after you, and you will probably die. So you can only stay there for a limited time, and
预定不了啊 ，PS5 上没，现在还没上架嘞，要明天下午才会上架，好像。
But sometimes you want to shift to see if there are things that you might find, like loot or weapons, or armor, spells, etc., that you'll miss out on if you don't. But there's a lot of pressure on you to keep shifting because you want to shift for exploration, and in some places you will indeed need to, but also you need to shift back periodically or you're going to get killed by some very powerful enemies. So you're constantly jumping back and forth between these realms.
推出日期2023年10月13日，此游戏预计大约于23小时后解锁。
Xbox 上已经可以玩了。
看 Xbox 已经完了。
对 ，Xbox 上它不锁区的，不锁语言的。
And it's actually quite ingenious that they've been able to do this because they basically stacked the world on top of a world. They've designed 2 worlds within one, and it's very, very well done. And the different zones of the game are very well done too. The different environments that you go through, you have like villages, and castles, caves, and platforms, and each area feels very distinct. There are other areas of the game that I don't want to talk about. I don't want to spoil for players. But there are a lot of different environments in this game. They all feel very different.
找到人一起玩了吗？
没有找到人一起玩。Q 总买的是叉叉叉。
不会画面还不错。
Q 总玩的是 Xbox 的版本，我没有 Xbox。
比 T 好一点吧。
匹诺曹有匹诺曹的优势。
which is a nice touch in my opinion. And, you know, at these vestiges, you can rest to get your heals back. And you can upgrade your character if you want to spend your vigor to, you know, make your character stronger if you have enough, etc.
均说就等 Xbox 到时候能和游戏。
What they've done is they've made these areas of the game where you can use an item called a vestige seed to create a vestige that you can rest at. And there's these places all over the game world But you only have a limited number of vestiges.
重点还是可玩性，画面方面其实还不错的。
People co-op, you'll be able to get more. But initially, without that, you're going to have a very limited amount. So you have to pick and choose where do you want to put your vestiges. Do you need to rest at this spot? Do you need to create a save spot? How far is it from here to the next spot? These are decisions you often have to make them when you're playing.
至少不会有太大的视觉疲劳。
So they're incredibly tough decisions to make, and it adds a little bit of tension to the game that I really like. And the boss fights of the game so far have been interesting. They've all been different. They've been interesting mechanics. They've been challenging, but not super challenging. I think most players would say that they're probably not as difficult as the Souls games so far, although I think the difficulty of each boss varies a bit. Some have been easier, some have been harder, so it's going to be hard to say like whether it all pans out to be on the same level as Souls, but I think it's in the ballpark so far, and I don't think most bosses are a cakewalk or anything like that, but I don't think a lot of Souls veterans are going to have a ton of trouble with them either. And as always, if you do have trouble with these, you can summon NPCs for a lot of these boss fights to help you. These are characters that are in the game. And actually, as you find more and more NPCs, more and more of them can help you from different fights.
这游戏在亚洲讨论度极低。
You can summon another player to help you as well. If you're co-oping already, they can just come into the boss with you. Or, if you want to summon them for that fight, you can.
他说你可以这个闪避重击流或者是盾反流。
You don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes they ask you to give them an item. You don't know what you get in exchange for it. And sometimes you don't get anything. Then maybe you get something later on. And they've done this very similarly to the Souls games. There is a place in the game called Skyrest Bridge, which you'll get to pretty early on.
我看上一代评分很差。
Kind of the game, if you will, where all the NPCs gather. If you find NPCs, rescue them, or help them, etc., out on the landscape, they usually gather there. Not always, but they usually do. And they've done these fairly well, in my opinion. The voice acting on them is usually good. There are some characters that I feel like their voices.
不是我，因为我马上要去日本了，知道？再买个游戏机带过去很重啊。
But for the most part, they're very, very well done.
当年《恶魂》刚出的时候，也是亚洲讨论很低，很多人差评。好玩的话，玩家自然会讨论。
The main enemy of the game is the Rogar, which make up return from the previous Lords of the Fallen game. That was the main enemy type in that game, if you remember. But there are other enemies you will fight as well. They are not all.
不要看硬，他们不能信了。我的乔尔啊！
埃及人已经不能信了，是的。
我讨厌高尔夫。
So you'll see that a lot throughout the course of the game. And I also want to talk a bit about the performance of the game. I know a lot of people are interested in how games are playing, particularly ones that look as good as this one. And I've been playing on a 3080 Ti with a pretty good system, and I've been playing at 1440p on high pretty much exclusively. Playing in full screen. The game seems to perform much better in full screen than windowed borderless for some reason. So if you are playing the upcoming launch, make sure you put it in full screen. I'm getting somewhere around 100 to 150 FPS. It's kind of fluctuating in that range on those settings, which is generally pretty good. And I have had a few stutters at the beginning of the game. Nothing seriously major. Mostly pretty smooth performance across the board. There are a couple places where it dips. But I will say the further and further you get into the game, it seems like the performance issues start to ramp up. And one of the things that's kind of strange is that like, if you play the game for a long session and then you restart the game, you seem to get better performance. So I don't know if there's some sort of memory leak or what's going on.
它这个体量，它卖的这个价格应该是塞过钱。
But it's easily fixed a lot of the time by just restarting the game. And it hasn't been all that often. Just very particular spots in the game.
Steam 上卖298还是多少？
298人民币，1490港币好像。它台币啊。
All the game is very stable when it comes to bugs. Most of the bugs are minor, like getting summoned with not all my health or mana, or clicking on a menu and it doesn't do anything, but then the next time I click it, it works.
港服一直不上架，看来不想赚钱了。我不知道为什么这个游戏观赏声音竟然会觉得打击感比较好一些。台币吧。
So I do think the game is going to have some bugs at launch. It might have some performance issues. They have been patching the game as we've been playing, so every build and every day the build is a bit different. So I'm not exactly sure what it's going to look like when it's finalized. I'm hoping most of these will be fixed at launch. The game's not in a very bad state as it is generally. I think most people will find it acceptable, although probably not ideal in a lot of cases. But I am confident that this will get better over time. So all in all, I'm even more excited. I was super excited for this game after Gamescom. Now having played even more, getting to understand the game systems a bit more.
预定什么时候去日本呀？港币比人民币都1.081了。PS5预购实体的13号可能都延期。
And I'll just say this, if you are a Souls fan, you're going to want to play the new Lords of the Fallen game. You're just going to want to play it. It has all the things that I've seen so far that make Souls what it is. It has the feeling, it has the discovery, it has the combat, it has the customization, it has all the things that we've all come to know and love.
蜘蛛侠至少是第3代，而且名气大，卖这个价钱还可以，但这个知名度不高，都敢卖这么贵。
I think it's going to become a big hit.
对，它卖的很贵，关键是一个问题啊。Steam 上都可以卖到300 ，PS5 上卖500多。
What do you guys think of the game so far? Are you more excited? Are you fairly confident it's going to be good now? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.
价格真的不能接受。
价格真的太贵了，这真的是。
What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and today
a deer's malignant.
这个价钱基本都是收藏版本的价钱了。
它收藏版本要300多了。
Where are you on strength? 12. You know what? It's been a while since we've done it. Let's go.
这个昨天我们看过了，好像。哦，这个没看过，他这是一个野蛮人。
你们会一直重新连线吗？
啊，你们要重新连线吗？也是在坚持这几天，我到了日本就不用连线了。
So there's an ammo cost, so I'm guessing they are reusable. But with a certain cost to them. Select range mode. All ranged attacks consume ammunition or mana. Different ammunition types and spells have different costs. Crossbows, bows, and throwables keep left trigger pressed to stay in range mode. The access quick menu shows you between the types. Yes, quick shot.
看你用什么样的魔导器的。你用的这个弓箭，它就有几种射击，瞄准射击。 什么射击？4种技能，你用什么样的魔导器，它放什么样的魔法。
Lock down both are quick shots. For catalysts, keep left pressed to stay in range mode. Quick access menu shows the orders of spells. Okay.
怎么没字幕呀？啊，这斧头威力这么大的吗？哦，这个斧头是它的远程技能。
还的是 From Software 的游戏值那个价格。
Alright, now I wonder if ammunition will just gather back over time, or how exactly it works.
FS 的基本都是超值。这个密度有点高。
粉丝社做的东西，这个不买就亏了，你知道吗？
其他的不塞钱，靠媒体和大主播、热门主播炒一炒卖不出去的。
Oh, hang on, I have something here. X, Y. Looks like it drains. Looks like some kind of blast. Vestige seeds can only be planted on umbral flower heads.
开不开这个门？
能够几年后还有人玩的游戏不多。
Gotta follow the roots maybe to something. interesting. Does that change what I'm two-handing? Does.
这有能够研究的中盘元素，比如 P、K， 宝可梦就能靠对战保持热度。
All attacks can be combined to create unique combos, including both ranged and melee. Melee stances can be switched dynamically with Y for a wider variety of attacks. Experiment with equipping different melee and range to create unique playstyles.
他这种重武器挥的速度好慢啊！
特别好的刷子游戏都得网游式的更新和运营的，不然再好的也会刷腻了。
它这个游戏里面很有意思，它魔法恢复是一点点恢复的，不是一口气恢复的。
Primary healing tool automatically recharges upon reviving. Other consumables are found in your quick bar. Assign any consumable to the slot. Okay. Holding X to transition to Umbral. Beware as you can only exit Umbral at specific points.
那基本上就想走刷子游戏的路线了。的装备搭配 B、D 的。一口气那种基本属于偏动作类的。
它回血是一口气回的，回蓝的东西吃一下之后是一点点回的。我暂时现在没有看到蓝屏。
说到宝可梦之前，宝可梦银行之乱让3DS 涨到吓死人。
So we're like ripping them out. Create a path. This is so. I mean, there's a lot going on here. I don't think I can get back the health that I lost while I'm in the Umbral form. I think I'm locked with that health I had before going in. Soul Flaying an enemy consumes a charge, while Soul Flaying environmental elements does not. Soul Flaying an enemy consumes a charge, raise it.
好像这个堕落之主，
看来这游戏挺有自己的想法的，部分东西这里抄一半，哪里抄一半，然后构建自己独有的基本盘。
它很有意思，它那个上来的几个职业嘛，它现在里边的装备，并不是这么好凑的。就像法师那个火球，人家打到很后面。 都没有拿到那个火球。法师那个魔导器，它上来只能放火球，但是它可以通过学习，又可以放别的东西了。
说到宝可梦，现在小智毕业了，还有人看现在新的宝可梦吗？石川懵逼。
就是人家说就是你选任何一个职业，只有这个游戏里面啊，打到中盘的时候你才能。
不存在永远年少的人，但是永远有年少的人。
然后这个游戏里面大多数情况下要到中盘以后才能拿到前期选的职业的东西。 就这个游戏比起魂类的话，它上来选的职业还是挺讲究的啊。它不像魂，其实你上来
年少的人就又可以灌输新的概念、想法、价值观了。
就是这个游戏里面，就是上来是如果是，就魂类，就是那个阿尔登法环也好，魂也好，你上来选的这个职业，只影响你这个人物的初级点数。
它就是用这种方式让你的职业选择有意义。
对。 影响你的初级点数，因为东西全都后面都可以拿到，但是这个堕落之主就不一样，堕落之主好像 我玩了一个，我看人家网上那个说的玩到打到很后面都没玩到别的，就比如说有个人想那个就是那个光明跟地狱双修，
魂1至3法环都是只看能力值就行了。
那他想那个光明跟地狱双修嘛，结果他选了一个地狱号，到现在没有拿到光明的那个道具。
你觉得石川先生会玩这个游戏吗？
就是三太子啊，他三太子肯定不会玩这种游戏，他天天拉皮条都来不及了。
那近期游戏荒吧。
也就是说，你上来选的这个职业会让你用到最中期。
The longer you spend in Umbral, the more dangerous the beings who hunt you. Prolonged periods in Umbral make your presence increasingly known to its inhabitants. So there's like an eye. No, I think the meter's ticking down.
就装备可以换掉，但是有些武器也可以换，但就是一些特定的道具你没有了，就没这么容易去收集。尤其是几个
三太子怪猎都不想玩，老年人只是和大家互动而已，谁会想玩游戏？全都对这种东西无感的。血缘选完职业回家就能买别的职业武器。英高会说不够魂，不能让我高举双手歌颂太阳。
高举双手。
打击感好奇怪。
打击感有点奇怪的啊。
项目多拉几个，线下再找到几个老板和合作方，自己社内职位再高点，自己项目组能配置的人再多点，比什么都心安。港澳台是不是都不会上架 ？YAYA 会带 PS5去日本直播吗？
会啊，游戏机都要带过去啊。所以说我不想再买个，也可以在国内买个叉带过去，但是太重了，知道吧？它这个宽度吧，你像这个 PS5放在行李箱里面只占一半，你知道吗？这个叉放在行李箱里面是占整个行李箱的宽度的，你知道吗？它是个正方体，你知道吧？它是个长方体的一个柱子，你怎么摆都是要占整个行李箱的，很奇怪。那人家行李箱的一半都是可以拉起来放衣服的，对吧？你要放个叉，你就必须要把这个衣服的那一层啊，给它露出来一点，才能把叉塞进去，你知道吗？
大件有87%项。
你知道吧？这个 PS5放在行李箱里面，它就占一半。它虽然很大，但是很薄，你知道吧？
哈哈哈。
这个叉你放在行李箱里面，你怎么放都是很尴尬的，你知道吧？最后你只能选择抱在手上，带上飞机。
Yes, we can. I don't see a button for tooltip. Don't think there's a downside to resting. So strength obviously is going to help that. Agility would help my hatchet. Endurance. It's going to be stamina, weight capacity. No, weight goes up with that as well. So you're mainly stamina, you're mainly health. I'm guessing you're like the faith stat. Okay, so stats are pretty straightforward here. Let's go. Goes up to 405. I only have enough for 1 level.
我还有很多别的东西要带了，你不光带一个游戏机啊，你再带个游戏机，我就要多用个箱子了。
Yeah, probably endurance, I guess.
欧美人的行李箱比较大。微软游戏硬件部门可能光考虑堆料堆各种功能了，没索尼这方面考虑的细。
Guessing you're our tutorial boss. Block by holding left bumper. But blocking blocks enemies' attacks, withers your health. Strike enemies to restore your withered health. However, you lose it all if you're instantly struck. So not all that different from what we just went through with Lies of P. Parry attacks by pressing left bumper just before the impact to receive less wither damage and deliver high posture damage to the enemy. An enemy's posture is reduced by any attack, each with its own posture damage, so experiment with all weapon types. Once it's depleted, stagger with a heavy charged, a parry, or a kick. Deliver a grievous strike to a staggered enemy with right bumper. Okay, so the kick is the fast option. Oh.
XSX 那东西我感觉根本就没考虑过给你外带，不然这个行李箱基本是飞机和车厢放不下的那种。
对，叉没有想到玩家会需要搬家什么的。
It's a high commitment on that. I think the game wants.
因为在欧美那个就是游戏机同一户人家有3、4台游戏机是很正常的事情。
The iframes are very nice. I want to try and get a parry. I mean, this thing wouldn't be hard to kill, but.
还不防御。
Trying to find. You know what? Even if I die, let me just focus on finding the parry window here. I think that's more important. God. Aggressive.
音效好像打树声。
I think that's what a parry is. By this game's standards. And then how do I know when they're low posture?
疯狂丢斧头。
So I can block and then
已
use
经
my
被吐
throwing
槽好几
weapons
天了。
to get back the lost health. That's nice to see. God, I think I'm parrying too late. It might be a super early window. I mean, I really don't want to die to this guy. He's not particularly hard. Oh, he's healing.
这个游戏武器驾招难度很高。
Oh, well, we're dead. I tried. Oh no, we're not.
一定要带盾牌的，我已经看了好几个视频了。
Wither Ward, Mana Stone. Don't know what that is.
主要实在是竞品太强了，不好好打磨动作手感就想上架赚钱，肯定要被吐槽的。
I ain't dying to you. Get out of here, tutorial man. Oh god, dude. Damn. That forward momentum, I feel like such a scrub. Oh no, but we come back. That's right. Forgot. You get a free cheat death.
有多少旧游戏没通关啊？
有多少旧游戏没通关？这倒没多少吧。
I think this is the thing from the intro swooping on in. Yeah, it is.
Give me that lamp.
My lamp. I actually have to fight you right now? Bro, there's no way. Oh my god.
"换一个问法，还有几个白金没获得啊？
No, it's immune to damage. So all I have to do is run. Oh. Maybe this is a plot depth.
一般性没点爱的游戏，我是不想拿白金的。还有根本让我不想玩2周目的，我也不会想拿白金的。
白金不见得想打吧 ，XT。
You experience thief.
有些游戏白金难度太高了。
难度高不是事情，关键是很烦，浪费时间，
Oh, they got me.
没有任何
Maybe this
好
is
处。
a plot depth.
花的时间很多，而且都没爽点。这游戏有没有搞头？
工作時缺乏專注力，維他命 B5 及鋅有助提升腦力及思緒清晰。先傳。
纯1白金也是弄到很烦。
有大汉，我们来看，我们来看大汉打的怎么样啊
We can do pyro. Sounds good to me. I haven't played caster, so I'm curious to try the caster out.
Caster.
Let's see, our head. Alright, this guy looks like a snake. Looks
卡住了。这游戏里面女角色好像还可以，好像可以捏的挺好看。
这是甘道夫。
瞬间
very elf-like.
这是什么身材？这他老婆身材吗？
没办法调数据吗？只能用现有模板。有博德之门可以那样捏吗？
不知道。
人造股神。
Make her a thick girl.
啊，可以从胖瘦改的。可以改胖瘦。
可以像赛博和博德那样捏下体大小吗？
We'll name her Fire Witch.
啊，博德之门可以调整鸡鸡大小的啊？
Yeah, that.
真的假的？
What are the boys saying?
Law, the latest receiver of his grace. Great.
Fast rolls.
认真的，甚至第3性别都可以。
I'm already seeing results in 2023 because of this. When it comes to dieting, consistency is the key. The Nutrition Kitchen makes it so easy. They deliver chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals directly to your door daily. And it only takes 2 minutes to heat.
YAYA 装甲和星6应该白了吧？
So that
白金了呀。
light and heavy. What's the difference? That's a sweep.
装甲和星6白金了。
That's like a sweep, but with more forward momentum. Is that all?
有大鸡的姐姐和有洞的大哥哥。
不是他有大鸡的姐姐，这不是他捏起来的时候怎么捏的呢？能直播出来的吗？这不能直播了。
关都没过，又一款新魂游没经历完，我该不会电尾了。
Run up on the dude.
Elden Ring DLC 也快出了，感觉跟上班一样。
No major glitches.
电子阳痿一般都是因为现实压力大，或者对这方面的东西已经过度审美疲劳。突然想起了 YAYA， 以前人王就捏了个双马尾大叔。
Yeah, 23 episodes total so far.
打击音效是噗噗噗是怎样 ？XT。
对他这个打击音效很奇怪。
Let me jump to gap. Throwing rock. Throwing rock.
Mana cost 13。哦，他手上拿的这个东西其实就是法术石什么的。
Well, this is usually, since I have a catalyst, I have spells on.
港服不上架什么？
So no rocks.
这个游戏港服不上架，我们要到明天早上都不一定上得了架，甚至有可能不排除 PS5 港服是没有这个游戏的。
Spells come out quite fast. I like that.
YAYA 要玩什么职业？
还没想好。
有搜一下就有，估计明天才上。港服问题还蛮多，看来港日服账号都得有。还得要个美服。
美服现在 PS 上、PSN 上已经有了，但是没有中文。索尼他妈的就是罪该万死！索尼做软件部门全是罪该万死。
这游戏有分服务器，不是单机吗？
索尼真的罪该万死，不让你换区也就算了，而且不同的区它的还限定你的语言版本。
再说 PSN。索尼最大滔天，同一个平台应该是国际服的，不分服务器分地区服务器。 日服领限制级游戏要当地信用卡。这款魂类游戏感觉只有表里世界有看点。
对，日服限制级游戏还要你用当地信用卡才能买。这索尼软件部门真的是啊，罪恶滔天啊！
但不同服东西上架售价服务规格都不一样。本人在美国3大主机各种不同账号 XT。
你像人家微软对吧？很清楚的，一个账号吃遍天。
表里世界旧恶魂的弱化版。
Yeah, it does take a little bit of time to get used to the two worlds.
这游戏没有 PC 版吗？
有啊 ，PC 版，而且但是
你是说恶魔之魂
PC 版很吃配置的，然后你机器不好跑不动。
粵港澳大灣區建設係新時代國家改革開放下嘅重大發展戰略。
Map of abandoned red cops. For the person asking, let's see.
我操，他
有
开
PC 版，
有 PC 版的，有主播开4K 在玩啊，家里电脑
但不保
配置。
证优化很好。
I should have canceled that out first. Okay, let's see. Umbral and
我最初认识的表里设定是在 Silent Hill。
啊，寂静岭对吧？寂静岭不是也要出一个新的游戏了吗？
left for an ambush. Broken sword. Shit. Justin, thank you.
哟，他找到个宝箱。
Broken sword and then a hallowed condemnation. Okay.
Started watching during Elden Ring and have gone backwards as I buy all the Souls-like games. Never paid a streamer before, but you deserve it.
No weapon.
我现在就比较好奇，它这个游戏里面魔法机制。
Pretty fucking useful. I mean, I think another part of too is I know what I'm doing now. Whereas the first time coming through here, I didn't. So we got the pilgrim garb. Besides the pilgrim guard, no reason to go up top. Grab the lantern, kill the enemies in the corner.
Essentially played them all.
哇，这个主播广告好多啊！10分钟一个。
Ow. Alright, so there's 2 enemies hiding up ahead. And
哎，他这个长枪判定范围还挺广。
I like the casting animation a lot. I know there's a checkpoint nearby. I'm trying to remember where. So I think when they encounter him, they round the corner instead to get to this. Oh no, we're dropping down to reach this guy.
He 他这个挥出去那这一杆子打击感很奇怪。
丫丫，你广告为毛是香港的 XT。
我也不知道为什么。
港服是0点解锁吗？
港服不解锁，港服早了，明天都不一定有。
Yeah, I think I did. Bitch, sit down.
因为你的左上角写着 YouTube 香港，可能你登录的账号是有香港语言地区设定。
啊，有可能哎。
Yeah, backstab and unripe berries.
啊，也可能我跟我的 VPN 有关系。VPN 开着香港，所以是香港。
不是，广告不同地区节点。
Okay, save one for later. He gives us
carry the lamp long enough if you don't want to keep making.
哟，他弹反，他也会弹反的。
Around the corner and rest on up. I don't. Oops. You coming, huh? Strong.
刚刚收到游民的通知 ，PS5 版本的有性能问题。
啊 ？PS5 版本有性能问题？什么性能问题？什么性能问题？啊？
Magma. If you're a Souls vet, you'll feel at home with probably any build.
优化差有致命 bug。Q 老板 XSX 版已经玩起来了，
对呀，就是说，
可以上游明星空看一下，刚收到新闻通知。
游民星空。
新西兰7点就解锁。
Yes, we're gonna want to use one.
可能这就是为什么大部分北美主播都用 XBX 打。
He gives us a...
有《生化危机5》威斯克动捕的那个演员去世了嘛？
游戏资讯。
I think the red machine gun bullshit is a pyro ability you can get? Maybe. No clue.
.存在性能问题 ，PS5。
This probably leads me to. I think I know where that.
就说 PS5 上优化有问题，是吧？
From what I've played, I am enjoying it more than Lies of P.
北美本来就买 XBX 多吧？具体啥优化问题没讲吗？
没讲。
The world exploration, the interconnectivity.
可能掉帧啊什么的。
Lies of P was great. It was very linear, and even in my
的看那些评测有没有具体描述了。
Ooh, it was on my. Ooh, it was on my biscuit.
不可能 PS5 销量薄纱盒子。
For you, please die. You can't have them.
哎呦！
终于有要丢魔法的组合了。
You want more? Do this all day. Get out of here, you skippy bitch.
难道是因为嫌尾蛇病毒用太多了吗？虽然这样讲有点地狱。
Holy salts.
这个主播怎么动不动会贴一个黄色网站出来的？
只有我一个人觉得这个视角跟角色移动有点诡异吗？来了。
I'm feeling hot, hot, hot.
对啊，这个好像视角移动有那么点奇怪啊。
So we items that were the other fire. Honestly, unironically, my favorite. The rolls are good. Aware of.
哟，他挺会弹反的这个人。
Parry bait, bitch. So the overhead is an iffy dodge because she comes out with thorns.
可以的，这个大叔反应速度也挺快的。这个游戏里面是武器本来就比盾难弹反了，他还弹得挺厉害的。不过他中了个大招，我是没想到的。
A laser beam. Okay.
我觉得这个大叔应该换一个武器，用盾牌。
And the blast should be rolled. Focus parries and attack after her 3-hit combo.
他2次就过了嘛，比昨天那个大叔厉害多了。哦，可以招人。
I haven't summoned yet.
哦，可以招人的这个游戏，原来可以招 NPC 的。 哦，那没难度了。本来难度等级就不是很高了。哎呦，这个 NPC 还是个大锤的。哎呦，这 NPC 技能牛逼啊！
He might carry the whole fight. Oopsie.
啊！哎呦呦，哦，不过这 NPC 好像也不是特别牛逼啊。
This is my second playthrough though. So the summon, he kind of helped. Oh, she has the grab too.
哦，他有魔法也能回血的。 啊，他魔法也会灭死的，一样灭死，带一点点跟踪，但是不是很明显。
锤是扑，长枪是扑，火球是扑，连光剑也是扑，够了哦。
打击感、音效全部一样是吧？
I think I did math, bruh. I'm gonna get behind her and just pump magic.
It always comes down to this.
可以了，这火球已经混好太多。
Not doing a whole lot of stagger.
会灭死的，灭死率还是有的。
打枕头的感觉，混的火球是中距离才能正常命中。
他在丢出去的时候会给你一个火球轨迹，但是在轨迹一旦形成的时候，你敌人出现移动，他就可能会灭死。
雙重 No.1 專家用家信心保證，舒適達你嘅抗敏牙膏首選。
音效设计师在划水吗？
I think he's tanking it pretty well, actually. Oh. He's interrupting her a lot.
你确定有音效设计师吗？
火球噗噗，哈哈，确实太搞笑了。这音效设计可能是拿了什么资源包里的。
So it doesn't look like the NPCs block at all. So we almost killed her just doing a magic. That's actually
这
kind of wild.
NPC 挺硬的，活这么久。
Just throwing fireballs while the summon tanks. I'm gonna make a note that the summon is very strong. With all the whack guys.
过场动画做的真太廉价了。
Up is not. There's a thingy here.
连 LF2 小朋友骑打胶的命中音效都比他多。
Fighting for my fucking life. Okay. Oh yeah.
哎，这个朋友也是不换武器的。
Block and heavy at exactly the not needed.
我今天才知道 YAYA 原来是外国胖子。
对，左下角就是我。
Like honestly, it's basically impossible to get lost in Liza P. Hang on. You know what?
我看他打怎么打这个怪。
Come here.
这是游戏里第一个劝退怪。
Come here. Come closer.
吃的挺肥的，不是吗？
Not what I meant to do.
我觉得自己观赏声音用脑补音效打击感真的好很多。
哎呦，这个胖子好惊险啊！
I want to do that again.
他把劝退怪踢下去了。他宁可不要那个，不要他掉了头盔。
You just don't.
哎，踢不动了，这次踢不动了，不知道为什么这次踢不动了。
I see what happens. I see what happens. So when he dies,
就是说刚才他怎么踢得动？
Yeah, yeah, nice to meet you.
When he dies, it looks like I
Nice to
see
meet you, nice to
exactly
meet
what
you.
happened. Okay.
OK
That's
OK。
really tricky. All right, so
哎
the only
他发现踢不
reason
动了
this，
刚才怎么踢得动了？他在
works
研究
is。because there's a platform there for his soul. There, I think that was it. I need to test it. Okay, so as he approaches, I'm gonna get him down to here.
哦，踢不动了，踢不动了，为什么踢不动？哎，但是还掉下去了。
It does work. Okay, let me make a note of that.
First time come to see your channel is really good.
That'll get patched. Gotta be patched. Like what?
OK。
Yeah, I will.
啊，只要把他拉到这个上面去啊，等他复活的时候就会
I ripped his
被吸过
soul.
去。
And the thing is, there is a platform over here, but that platform is in the umbral realm.
啊，他在那个里世界的时候，这里是有路
What
的
I。am doing is I am basically exists there. He drops.
我要看他打那个打那个粪怪。
Up and down. Fucking 3 vitality. Let's go. See one of the umbral realm.
啊，这就是魔法的力量，科技的力量。对。
这是什么游戏？
Zone.
哇，他真人就是这样。
Pull you into.
嗯，胖多了。
这击杀法是官方认可的，我预告有看过。
哦，这是官方认可的了，就是把怪拉到那个里世界这个平台上，然后击杀了，在现实世界击杀。
I mean, I had all on it.
摔死他。
No. On up top.
哎哦，这下去打那个狗了，我看他怎么打他。哎呀，这次在这里怎么办？哟，不行，一下残血。他也吃苦了，他也吃苦了。
It's mostly sideways pulls that you want to do. The episodes. I'm trying to remember.
武器没升级，到现在还是0级，加0。
I think that.
哎，它中间有个城镇可以升一下武器的呀，我记得。
This was after the blacksmith, so it was.
我在等直播主视频。
Episode 7. Was this where the black? Bro.
我看着他非常享受那种重攻击一次打好几个的那种感觉。
这就是打怪卡肉的感觉。这拉魂技像不像捞的俄洛伊？
Okay, so I do need the money.
他是说我们是需要一些金钱吗？
This back?
哦，人家会大发金光的，他看不懂了。哎呦，完了，再见。跟灰了。
Oh no.
Yo. Yep. YAYA 觉得这款会作死吗？还是黑马？
中规中矩吧，我觉得它这个游戏作死是死不了了。你要能不能成黑马，这个就得看后期表现了。建模本身应该没问题，动画一塌糊涂，过场动画一塌糊涂，打击音效一塌糊涂。
If we don't have the blacks,
那这为什么动不动喜欢暂停啊？暂停了，抽一口电子烟，然后不知道在看什么。
但这游戏商前一作可说是大爆炸级别的炸。
前一作听说做的一塌糊涂是吧 ？No Singer 都来了，啊？这男的什么意思了？这算什么新的游戏直播的套路了？
看游戏社群吗？
不知道，他反正肯定在看另外一个屏幕，喝一口酒，抽一口烟，游戏关掉。
Apparently, Rory's save just corrupt.
重开游戏，然后
暂停看弹幕。
You can go that way, but then I'm going down. I need to like.
TSN 是不嫁了吗 ？Face Blue Smiling。
杰森不知道呀，听说是出什么性能问题了。
Oh no, not what I meant to do at all.
这个怪好像也挺强的。哎呦，我还会盾反他。哎呦
！Oh God, no.
哎呦，还来了个劝退怪，
对
的，下面还有一个劝退怪，怎么办？听下去。哇，这个人好聪明啊，他是属于那种不会恋战的那种类型。我要多学习学习，我太喜欢恋战了。
Since I lured them down below, now I can run around killing all the other shit.
我从小就有这个毛病，比如说。 这道数学题，老师说先做简单的，但是我很烦，你知道吧？我这个就他有的时候第2题很难，但第3、第4题、第5题都是简单的。
打不过就逃是真男人吗
？Best case scenario for sure.
但是我就是要把难的第2题解出来，再去做后面的，然后浪费了很多时间。
一点都不贪刀。
唉，所以说。
感觉怪物超多耶！如果全部做完，就是顺序问题而已。
Softly across the sand, deep blue sky, the songs we used to sing, little Daljaru's hand in mine.
也就是说，这个主播他这种人性格的人比较容易，比较会分配眼前资源，比较擅长做生意。
只要你感受到这怪有音高血统，就别恋战。这款角色也没膝盖吗？
哎，这个怪傻在那边了，给他打，你看。 挺好的，白赚200经验值。
I don't know why you're stuck, but Lamau.
好，最后一下上去。
I mean, I was gonna soul rip his ass off.
好像不止200，300多。
From a walkthrough. No. Ah, no.
我看他打 BOSS。 他到得了 BOSS 那边吗？他4个小时还没到 BOSS。
So, all right. Wipes. Where I.
他不会是那种疯狂探索型，然后
感觉火球耗魔量蛮低的。
他这个魔法火球1次10几，但是他这个蓝条比你想象中的要长。你别看它这么短，
有攻略感，有点沉闷耶，需要速破才是。
你别看它蓝条这么点，大概有200多，200多的蓝条，够他丢10几个火球。
And then we'll open her.
丢17、18个火球，蓝都不会空，体力先空。打击感真的太操蛋了，这打击音效不是打击感。
嗨，他没打算速通吧？但火球的攻击力很低啊。
我操！武器打中怪跟火球打中怪的音效是几乎一样的。
刚刚去深圳，我吃他牛排好咸，我以为自己味觉出问题。我同店常换新牛排给我，结果是牛排问题，所以今日晚餐没吃过，现在返乡。
哟，他很聪明的。 他知道跟这个怪对狙。啊，这个主播真的很聪明，反应速度也不慢。你别看他很胖，但是是属于那种，就是那种很 kill 的。とても器用な人。 反射神経もとてもいい。
国内食物吃不死人就走运了啦！等等，他刚刚把手上那只插进女敌人哪里？灵活的胖子。
哎呀，刚说完，夸不起刘阿斗。不过还有一条命。他第一次打就过了。这个怪我们看了好几次，他是半血以下，狼是无限招的。 要优先击杀 BOSS。
看他应该是魂类老玩家了。
So I think the best way to do that
其实国内食物是不是都是重味道？
非常重味道的。
It seemed like Phase 1 had like 4 to 5 dogs.
国内吃东西的话很丰富，每个地方都有不同的味道吃，但是要看你的人的性格的。你像北方人，
意外的攻略感觉缺了应对感。
你像稍微北方中原以北或东北的人。 去哪儿都觉得哪儿的东西不好吃，
难怪。
然后大量的北方人就是喜欢吃咸的，你知道吗？他们不能接受吃的东西里面有甜的东西的，所以说他们不太喜欢来上海，因为上海的东西都比较甜。然后呢，大量的北方人因为务工不了，就去了香港、去了澳门、去了广州，然后造成广州那边已经有
是一盘菜一半是辣椒。
现在广州的那边的东北人。 已经是第3代了，就第3代已经生下来了，就是可能第1代人就是过去开出租车的，然后自己的孩子现在也结婚了，现在第3代人了。
是甜的，
然后造成就是广东人以前也是甜的，造成广州那边 现在不得不都要做成咸的，你做成甜的，你就会没怎么有声音。
无重味道怎么掩盖食材不新鲜的问题？我家附近刚好有一间很好吃的拉面，本人澳门的不臭不难吃就好。
澳门东北人还算少。
不好吃。
那看你怎么搭配呀。哎呀，这个大陆西北人是吃不了味精，一点都吃不了。
想不到吃什么我就去吃拉面。
他们吃味精会吐，我就很奇怪，谷氨酸钠为什么吃了会吐呢？然后东北人是吃不了糖，吃了糖他们要吐。现在我看起来就是上海人最不刁，就上海人，就我出去旅游啊，在外面碰到上海人是最不刁的。上海人什么东西都可以吃，咸的也能吃，甜的也能吃，辣的也能吃。就是上海人他是就像一个均衡角色，知道吧？甜的、咸的、辣的都能吃，但是都不能到顶。特别辣的不行，特别甜的也不行，特别咸的也不行。你像四川人，他们就喜欢吃特别辣的
东西，越广泛，长大就越不挑食。特别爱吃辣的东西。 上海毕竟是港口区吧，吃多很多外国食物。六维平衡吗？
对，它就像是打怪升级加点一样的，你这个每个点数都加的差不多，你就比较平衡，你知道吧？世界各地的美食都可以吃。
So another thing that's like super minor, and I think they're gonna patch this, but like when you're looking at your armor, you can't hide that menu, so I can't immediately see what my fashion is.
元素表抗性点好点满了吧？感叹号。
确实啊，
食物会越吃越重口，很正常。
元素表抗性这是大陆人都买了，你放心好了，你去美国，食物中毒，中国人不会没事的。
I'm having a very good time with it so far. The world's interconnected. There's tons of different stuff you can do. There's boss weapons. There's, you know.
哦，它这个好像可以提升这个血量上限的。
我们小时候就元素抗性点满了。
Those sanguinarics. I'll probably remember when it happens.
之前看说大陆海边跟房子辐射很严重。
严重倒不严重，0.2级，勉勉强强到快要超标。
科技食物吃多了，毒抗高了。在江门看到小吃摊一大袋才6块钱，我是真吓到了。
这个吃力量，吃敏捷，都是 C 减。这个铃铛是干嘛的？不知道。这个是神圣的 C。哦，他这里可以买了，可以买神圣的东西了。这神圣冲击波在第3个，这个是什么？不知道。
其实台湾也有那种粗点心。这是海克斯科技。超大袋很便宜，真的很好奇怎么活下来的。辐射高，食物恐怖。1勺3花淡奶。
啊，他这边可以改了，可以改成你可以改成那个，可以改了。到这边啊，要打到这个猎犬的 BOSS 打掉之后。
Upgrade your heal.
我不知道，我想看一下它第2个属性是什么。
Classes
没选，妈的，他不看看，好像对奶妈没有任何兴趣。
科技鱼很活。
你自己看，台湾美食全都是油的要死。我天天油管，我下了播没事看看吃播。油管台湾美食油的要死的，没有。但我看台湾人没人胖的，这说明什么问题？说明台湾用的油很健康的，不是地沟油。我靠！国内你敢天天吃这种油的东西的？我操！不要吓死你了！半年一吃你人废掉了。食品危机里最严重的就是油问题啊，用油问题啊。用地沟油都是高温用油，它回收回来之后再做，都是他妈顶级3A 级致癌物质，你妈吃半年你给我试试看。
地沟油台湾被抓到一次，到现在还在被喷呢。
对的，我们自己看没事看油管看吃播的呀。台湾美食这样子用油的，然后路上台湾没有看到胖子。
其实有些不是加很多油，而是五花肉什么的本来就油。
我就是他一路拍过去会看到顾客的。
烤串的一国油用几周？
啊，没有胖子的，你知道吧？
因为每天一杯真奶吧。感叹号。
我们一路看过去，人家好几个博主对吧？一路看过去没有台湾胖子的，说明什么情况？说明他们用的油真的干净。人家用的油确实干净。
Upgrade。
中国啊，你开玩笑？我去武汉啊，我就今年去的武汉啊。他们紧张到什么程度？他们连秧沟里边啊，市区里边秧沟里边没给你掏的干干净净。我在武汉。人家跟我讲，人家开店的店长跟我们讲，我们做大众点评，他说人家说，你去看市区里面的秧沟桶，给你掏的干干净净，你能找到一个里面还有渗油的阴沟桶，你来找我，第二天就被人家掏的干干净净。
5年胖了15千克，笑。
真的，他说你去看，没有一个阴沟是还有油的，全都给你掏得干干净净，我操，像被人打扫过一样的干净，连在壁上那种老坑油都给你刮下来，给你炼成油了，一滴都没有给你节约下来，全都塞回你的嘴巴里，对吧？然后最后又变成你的油，又流到了这个阴沟里面，再被下一锅拿回去熬，一锅接着一锅熬，
哇！直接光明正大套阴沟里的地沟油。Face blue smiling，
这一锅一锅的熬啊，对吧？你像你吃饭店熬出来的油，又要倒到阴沟里去啊，又要拿出来再熬，再倒再熬，再倒再熬，我去啊！熬到最后这里边真的是还是油吗？啊，我还在想这个问题。
Upgrade your heal。
这是什么炼金术？
炼金术了，真的炼金术了呀！
回乡我都不敢吃饭了。
哎，
地沟油香的呢？吃了几十年没差别了。
对，人家就跟我说，不是地沟油熬出来的锅，人家没人吃的。你用干净油做出来的东西，人家觉得不够香。你这家店要倒闭的，人家就明说了啊，大众点评开火锅店的人说了，你不用地沟油，烧出来的锅。
毕竟我大清。
就。哪家火锅店也不用地沟油？
环保呀，
就哪家火锅店你不用地沟油，你生意做不下去的，你不够香啊，就是要吃那股香味道。不用放很多了，但是一定要有。
Anything about the hidden starting classes? As far as are there a bunch of them or something? As far as I know, it's just the one guy, right? Let's look at weapons. See. If anything else,
我以前去炸甜甜圈，刚换油，颜色很淡，看起来就不吸引人。
哎，你看它有这种斧头的，我一直没看人家用过。
然后到了快换油的时候，颜色就很漂亮。
完全是那个。
来买的人就多了。
完全是吃那个地狱属性的这个斧头。
Oh, the Mangler axes do.
地狱级别的东西。
I could get double Mangler axes.
啊，他说他想拿2把这个斧头是吧
But I want to run double Mangler axes? Don't feel like this is really the Mangler axe sort of build, you know? The Rusty Cutter has a bit of Inferno scaling. I could use that.
今天广告好多。
If I did like
啊，今天广告很多吗？
strength.
我今天广告多了，等一下我改改。
Wield these things. Go.
我可能开的太高了，我开到30分钟一个了。
已经跳5次了。
跳5次了。能切是这种几秒钟能跳掉的那种吗？
5
秒。
5秒啊。
I could Inferno scaling. I could use that.
没有啊，我咋没有？
If I did like 2 points in strength.
这种类丰富的武器表在我眼里满满的都是噗噗噗。
它这游戏里面很有意思，就是你要双挥不一定两
一个 adblock 阻挡广告，我都没有。我跳1次，是不是开档广告了？你可以浏览器下个插件去广告。
啊，它这游戏里面双挥不需要两个手拿一种属性的武器的，左手斧头，右手刀也是可以的。
当广告 YAYA 就没收入了，你去广告 YAYA 就没有广告收入了，没有广告。有 YouTube Premium 无广告。
5.8 and 8.5. It's only 5.3. I could probably beef up my weight quite a bit. 3. I could probably beef.
哦，他在研究这个东西。
左手是混沌之刃的样子。对不起，我装了 adblock。
地狱22。我翻译一下。苹果电脑一下就可以翻译的。
我也装了，但我关了。
一种呐喊魔法，允许你在自己内心召唤阿德巴尔巴的愤怒，增加你的物理伤害啊，物增，但是要22点那个地狱的属性。
今天我每看完一个影片，都会被 it 说要不要关掉 adblock。
22 to put that on.
大吼加攻击。
因为他还是打到这个头了嘛。我来看看啊，看看他有点什么魔法体系。他武器上是没有战绩的，这个是这个游戏做的不太出彩的地方。让自己周围环绕着辐射光环，减少受到的伤害，增加你的辐射度，以获得进一步的洞察力。这游戏还有洞察力的概念呢。哇，这个消耗要120点魔法值才能用的东西，这什么玩意儿啊？大回血吗？用圣印祝福地面，以治疗和净化任何行走在地面上的盟友。
这游戏属性好奇怪。
盟友地位影响，盟友的地位影响应该是不良影响，对吧 ？debuff 是不是？增加你的辐射度，以获得进一步的洞察力。 哦，它这个辐射度就是光明力。哦，它这句话的意思应该就是说，你点光明属性，点你的 RAD， 然后进一步能提高这个法术的效果，是不是？这是个群体范围治疗，可以消除异常属性。
Like 22 to put that on.
队友走过的时候可以净化 debuff。
My name is not. And now.
力量加的 crossbow 太真实了。
Yeah, should we work? What do y'all think? Do we focus the cultic staff? I'm trying to remember.
在问弹幕是不是我们应该把它做成+1是吧？+1从45角到52，其实提升不大，要消耗2个碎片，还有15个。
Should we work? What do y'all think? Do we focus the cultic staff? Yeah. Should we work? Might find a weapon.
Oh, 他直接做到+3。
My other character. I'm fine with upgrading
辐射属性是啥玩意？这么硬核的吗？
辐射属性就是它这个光明属性，就它翻译成辐射没有翻好，机翻嘛。它就是一个光明一个地狱，还有一个综合属性的魔法，一共就3种魔法。
Let me sell stuff I'm not gonna use.
光明地狱双点。
Any
前期貌似没有很好的。
So boop boop boop.
居然没元素属性。
There we go. Got X right now. Okay.
哦，他把它做到+3了。
Okay. Yes, helmet.
他爱上这个长矛了。
Load up on a couple of those.
呀，不小心点了。
Worry about.
好，我看。
Followed by a second.
But I've at least.
哎，这个人这边也有买武器，力量型的匕首，这个就是盗贼的匕首。
You have anything I would use?
华，这手游看了好想去玩法，笑。
You have anything I would use?
力量加，又有个法术了。哎，我到现在没有看到光明系专用的武器嘛，都是地狱的，这个也是地狱单加持的。
A pointed stick. It's weaker. Oh my God! It's a bloodborne hat. Oh.
你这个胖子怎么刮腋毛的了？这个胖子，这胖子不会是个女装控吧？女装癖。
No, don't hit me. Can I soul rip you? No, I can't. Okay, listen, bro.
别死了还行。
Can I really not soul? Oh no, you have a little thingy that's buffing.
左下角竟然不是你，刮个毛都要被嘴，太苦了吧！
So no point soul ripping him.
好，来了，无敌小火球。
So he has like a crawling grab attack that he'll do. And then a big slam, followed by a second big slam. And then you have a window to get some hits in.
哎，他又动不动暂停了，他会停下来看弹幕。 他不像我这么聪明，我会放个小屏幕在边上爆弹幕，这样子我打游戏的时候就不用演，只要听你们的讲话就可以了。
I'm not sure about getting parries on him though. Oh, that's right, the wave. He does the wave. You got to roll through that.
有好也有坏，就是因为我会意识到你们会讲话，所以说我有的时候会说话说的比较少。 但是像他这种主播不开爆音的话，他会完全沉浸在自己的世界里面，一边打架一边讲话那种感觉。哎，他后面持了个盾牌。啊，他魔法都没了怎么办？吃个小蓝瓶呀，小蓝块吃一个呀。
So we can iframe through that.
我也不知道他还多照个血瓶，他人挡住那个画面了。
Oh, tried to eat me.
哎呦
So butt slam.
白人都要刮毛，不然体味很重，包括私处也会定期刮。
So when he poisons the ground, we want to back away a little bit. Wait for him to approach. Oh God! That was the fast lunge. Did not see that one coming. Ooh, fire. So.
啊，他好像意识到自己的魔法补给的不是很多。
So he's a paladin flail
啊，这个也可以。
印度人体味这么重。
哦，这个也可以招那个的。哎。
With ow. I don't know who this dude is. Stomund. We know he has with ow. I don't know who this dude is. Let's pull him out and see.
哦，你还可以在2个人里面选一个招。
印度菜都是各种香料堆一起。
So he's a paladin flail dude.
“我有个朋友去过印度，他说，跟他一起吃饭那个导游，在一桌上，上一秒刚去恒河水里洗了一下手，他刚上完厕所，去恒河水里面冲了一下手，然后 跟他手抓同一盘米饭。
不上架 YAYA 打算怎办？
港服 PSN 不上架，我只能去买个叉去了呀！我立刻去买个叉去了呀！
有这么想玩吗？不，我是说印度人体毛的部分和我。
Be a better distraction, so I can chuck fireballs at his ass.
不是印度人体毛的味道其实问题不大，关键是他们这个吃东西会。
I need to look. Do I upgrade catalysts?
真的会。
都爱玩。
真的是他们会那个擦完屁股之后跟你抓同一碗饭的。他们饭是放在一个盘子里抓的，知道？手抓的。然后你还吃得下去吧？左边这个人在喝恒河水，右边那个人在撒尿。
是的，主要是吃的东西味道比较重。
我们看吃播，我平时晚上下播之后看吃播，还有这印度人做东西真的是牛逼啊！
我偶尔跟朋友去吃印度菜，吃完变印度人。
吃完变印度人。
So he does a big slam into the bite.
YAYA 大不用 PC 游戏吗？
我很少玩 PC 游戏，太烦了。一是电脑游戏的话，你得专门配电脑，这不方便。 买个游戏机比较方便一点。看刚需吧。如果《怪物猎人世界2》一定要有这个 PC 版同步的话，可能还是会再去配一台电脑。
PC 更划算。
没有合购，你考虑到合购。
深有感受，我就是典型的 PC 转主机，现在 PC 打游戏没感觉。
PC 打游戏太折腾了，关键是要折腾系统，要折腾硬件，这让我很烦躁。但好处也是有的，比如说可以打 mod 啊，比如说可以，可以这个。 减少自己刷的程度啊，对吧？开个修改器啊什么的。合理。
优点就是可以用魔法。
对，这合理魔法还是挺重要的。你看到时候《怪物猎人世界2》如果强行是强行 PC 版同步的话，就买 PC。升级一下电脑。
mod 都是 PC 才能玩吧？配置不够 PC 就直接骂街了。
总体来说，玩游戏实惠度还是主机高。你不要去跟那种大学党去比，大学党的第一台电脑都是爸妈买的，当然肯定配 PC 的。
买不到我一气就去买 PC 了。
immediately get a checkpoint if you want. Typically, I don't. Typically, I save them.
组了4万多。
The lamp must be born. Only then can the lamp must. Only then can the.
And this is how we get our boss stuff. So off the first lady, these umbral scouring things that we keep collecting.
可以拿 boss 的东西在他身边换了吗？
过2年就打对折了。
umbral scour.
哎呦，光明武器嘛。哦，第一个 boss 他掉光明武器的。
You can immediately. Okay. Let's go back.
然后立刻打开老游戏特效全开中完。
you can immediately get a checkpoint if you want. Typically, I don't. Typically, I save them.
那开局就不用选光明法术了。
啊，那个女武神的这个光明武器可以在这里换。
And this is how we get our boss stuff. So off the first lady, these umbral scouring things.
但是他要30个那个这个魂，这个 umbral
PC 我家人蛮主用 PC 玩游戏，一直在说主机游戏画面跟 FPS 烂烂的。
他那个
这年头主要还是 PC 优化没人权，主机这块优势足。
对，主机优化省心，关键是省心。哦，他这个武器你到这个阶段还换不了，为什么？他要40个点数才能换这把武器的。你现在只能换他的这个女的这个装备，他有100点圣属性，这把剑。
Keep collecting. Those are traded in for.
哎，我要看一下这个技能。我操，这要30点光明才能用的技能，你让前期谁点得出来？召唤帕拉丁的，召唤一个帕拉丁来攻击敌人，增加你的，这就是召唤一个帕拉丁，一次消耗99。 然后你光明点数提升，能够提升这个帕拉丁的强度。
Or weapons or boss armor, so I could get her full set if I want.
然后第二个 boss 的话，哎，他要这个 boss 的魂呢，也就是说，哎，很奇怪。
So I could get those are traded.
哦，我懂了。 也就是说，这个女的因为没有死，所以说，她前期给你的32点，你想一下，20、30，是要么换一套装备，或者换她的一个法术。
Or weapons or boss armor, so I could get her full set if I.
但是武器是换不了的，因为你要第2次击杀她才行，才能换她的武器。
I want.
这个时候只能给你看看，因为你没有40点，也就是说这个 boss 你得第2次击杀才可以。然后第二个这个 boss 因为他不会再碰到第2次了，所以说
装备是整套还是1件？2周目才给用吗？
不是，那个 boss 没死呀，女武神没死呀，她活过来又跑掉了，说明下次还会在哪里再碰到她了。所以说他给你的点数第1次是不够换这个剑的。他第1次就这个40点是不够，他第1次击杀只给你32是只够你换他的一套这个防具，或者是他的这个魔法。
Those are traded in. Set if I.
但第2个 boss 因为已经死了，所以说你可以直接换他的这个就可以了。但是他这个也是你很难用的，他这个召唤死灵要22点光明跟22点这个地狱才行。
放送主咳多了，身体没事吗？
有点事儿，但是问题不大。这个是什么？这是一个长枪，是力量型的，力量跟光明的哦。一个力量光明的长枪，虽然都是 C 减。那个女武神的是多少啊？也是 C 减。
喝好几天了。
圣属性69。
These umbral scouring things or boss armor, so I could get her full set. Unleash a shower of rotting body parts and assorted fluids.
哦，这个物理属性47，这个没有那个好。他默认69，说明这个武器是这个中期武器，中期还要再打一次女武神，对吧？我分析的没错吧
？We're Inferno Man. We keep focusing that fury out. Increase my 144, 144. Oh, it's not bad. 10%. Either way.
他开始测试伤害了。
Shooter. Oh. Attacks transition. People are
我本来肺部就比较敏感。哦，他结束了，他不能再打了。他说他好像到那个了。
用 smooth 為生活鬆綁 ，Nescafe 全新 Smooth Black， 低糖輕盈，輕。
What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. So let's go take down this.
还是他，但是他换了一个猛男战士。
Coming in it. All right, lady. Let's see what you got. Oh, nope. That was not well timed on my part. I just want to see exactly how many attacks I could get two-handed after baiting out her whole combo. Oh, caught in the chest mid-heal.
啊，看出来了，这种武器就很难格挡。
I didn't even test what I wanted to. Okay, really bad. I need to worry a lot. Berserker man. Mental roadblock. My brain is. Alright, that was a little whack. How long does this fire?
哦，他直接可以不给这个武器附魔。
Alright, that was a little whack. How long does this fire last for? Actually, I should be practicing parries here, to be honest.
三打女武神。
She gets back her full poise bar when she transitions. The fire finally ran out.
Pass 有堕落之主2就好了，打击感真的烂烂的。
你换什么武器打都是 pro。
I haven't noticed. Maybe I'm doing more.
反正打中敌人都就是这么一个音效。
这火箭像木棍。
好，这把过不了了，我敢确信。
Nope. Ah, that was interesting. Solid attempt speed. That could be the thing.
打下 boss 身上根本没有感耶。
One-handing, getting more poise damage opens them up to a critical. Because I almost had her, and then in phase 2, I think I was what, about halfway to getting a stagger? Ah, I was out of range.
This 这把是 X 哈利棒。
Look like it's
它这个动画是怎么做出来的？给做成只有10几帧的这种动画的呀？
I think it's just animated like that.
这个血液的这个动画只有10几帧。
I
打击感是有差，可能卧龙还比较好。
Seem like a phase 2. This seems like
这个就叫做复古的流派。
this is like a There we go. That gets me where I need to be.
Radiance, judgment.
Definitely big.
Right. Through my veins.
You my umbral scout ring. Do I just sell them to you? I can sell anything to you. I want to trade those.
The lamp must be born. Only then.
Different shortcuts that'll just bring me back to the hub as I continue to play the game.
但是 boss 做的
The
比
rest
卧
to
龙
wrap
好。
things up, the boss is down. We've found our hub. Seems like a pretty natural break spot. So y'all stay tuned. I'll catch y'all soon as we continue.
我操！我们游戏还没玩，他已经5个一个小啊几十个小时过了。为什么我就不能跳广告呢？但跳广告不太好。
專業洗牙般潔淨感 ，Oral-B 全球牙醫推薦。
益生元與啱 BB 需要先得㗎。
牛腩牌專屬 BB 益生元配方。
What is happening, y'all? Welcome on. Hell, there's nothing special.
我看他用这个打那个劝退怪怎么打的？
Yeah, I think we're pumping our like next 10 levels into health. I want that. At the minimum, I want the bar longer than my stamina. You were gonna do with that bullshit.
我现在就要玩。
现在就要玩呢，那你得有个叉叉叉。
Little fashion. And I thought him
Divine dear.
强行看广告。
只是看一看，就没十几秒钟的事情，比起国内那种动不动跳个90秒钟广告，好吧。我靠，优酷视频你去打开一下看看，140秒广告，看到你人都傻掉。你要么买会员，优酷是直接是就是你不买会员就干脆别看我视频了。
I'm like 90% sure as you're jumping from an elevated platform. I don't think I can make that as a return path. But it doesn't make sense that they would like there's no way they would force you to come over here only to be like, "Oh, you don't have the bridge key? Sucks to be you. Looks like you're gonna lose all those."
人家淘宝上动不动就丢一个什么优酷视频的什么教学、使用教程什么的，我操！140秒广告，看得你服服帖帖。就他那个解说，他那个操作使用说明大概就2分钟。
的确，差距是比较出来的。
一个视频大概就2分钟的教学，广告看了140秒。不是优酷上还会这样子，就有的时候你广告看完了之后，他给你跳下一个广告，可以有的时候会卡 bug 的，会出现广告无限循环。
I mean, I only have 4,000, so it's not like the end of the world if I die, but it's like almost a level worth. Unless they just assume you wouldn't come over here until you had the Skyforge key. I can't make that passage. What is it that I'm supposed to do here? Let me redo this and see if maybe coming out of Umbral, maybe there was something in Umbral that I needed.
搞不好不是卡 bug， 是他赌你不在电脑前面，只不过是30分钟广告中含1分钟教学。
Thought maybe that was going to respawn the thing that I used next to Umbral.
国内是很恶心，有的平台只是 VIP 也不能跳广告，还要超级会员才行。
对啊，黄金会员。
Okay, anything that teleports me back without losing stuff. Would that lead me anywhere? Like that, where it's like, oh yeah, there's no way. Well, we're gonna wrap up here. We will go into the board and explore there in the next part.
对，我气管炎，我有气管炎。
流行性感冒
要重建抗敏保護力，
畢竟現在換季，
改善牙齦健康，舒緩敏感。
What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. So, in the corner there. Should have been easy.
它这游戏很有意思，它有些boss 不算 boss。
Damn, it sucks.
有血条，但是这个不算 boss。
That fight should have been easy, but.
我都不敢攻击。弹反了这一下，声音还可以。弹反了这一下，威力声音音效还算可以的。但攻击这个音效怎么这么傻逼呢？
Doesn't seem like you have much poise. That attack did. Oh, you're dead. Agility.
酷哦！我前天刚买 P， 这个明天开吗？
对，这个明天就有了。哎呦，摔死喽！
Very unfortunate way to die. Those things are supposed to do, but.
哎，他老实掏出了盾牌。
So no, this is.
好了，斧头用完怎么办？哎，我看看有没有人用那个弓箭手啊？法术这边我们都看过了，我们看看有没有人用弓箭手。
What is happening?
恒生私人貸款以低息全力支持我。
Use Inferno. On or the Pyrrhic Cult. Alright, who do I want to do for the prep? I'm probably gonna.
哦，他还有点插板的吗？他还有这个夜骑士的。
So for the prep,
阿拉丁。
Maybe I mess around with magic. And maybe here it sure y'all using this is
啊，他没选，我们再看别人吧。诶，怎么莫名其妙给我翻译了？我不要翻译。
Looks like a snake. Looks very sneaky. He's gonna.
Yeah.
哦，就这个叫 Black Visor。看有没有人用这个职业打的，好像没有哎，这个职业受欢迎度好低啊！难道他换这个职业了吗？没有，他没有。
What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and in this video, we're going to be taking.
哇操！他最后换成这个样子了，兄弟们，1个小时之前。
At my strength build in Lords of the Fallen.
这个就是中后期账号，你看他的血量的长度。 你看他的这个上面一堆 buff。Now
strength is very strong in this game. Our charged heavy attacks do.
你看他拿的远程武器。
And we are able to put out just beefy hits on enemies. We have tons of poise.
他这个头上这个东西就是亵渎的头啊。
三角头，感叹号，感叹号。
哇靠！他霸气值高的不得了，你看他。 可以硬挨一下，打回去。哇，他一下已经1000多了，兄弟们，1800以下，1600。牛逼！这是他的后期账号。一攻652。 哦呦，哦呦，哎呦，后期还有别的秒杀的方法呢，牛逼了。
Those dogs have an armored head, so I'm trying to break that before I rush them. Holy Knight action！
哇，这个冲撞距离也很远，这个锤子。
Holy Knight action！
直接秒掉，我操！
As you can see, we're just going through this area.
有没有大剑呢？请问有没有大剑，这位帅哥
？Doesn't matter. Much bigger swings on.
哦，他掏出大剑了吗？哦，他有大剑。兄弟们。
It's not just all hammer. Let's say you want. And it's not just all.
我去。 它这个点上面有个点数什么东西了？
果然是大建档。
这个游戏不会在这个武器上还能加石头吧？加了3个点数，亮的点数是什么意思了？我操，这个是力量力量 S 敏捷 D 光明 D 炼狱 D， 这个武器是全吃的全性能武器。
Let's say you want to work.
哦，这把武器是力量 A 加，刚才那个是 S， 这个没有刚才那个锤子厉害。刚才那个锤子1002的攻击，这个859。力量 S， 火属，但是它带一个火属性加成。那个刚才那个锤子是又肾70，火70，水70。
Work with a sword instead. We have our sword of skin and tooth. Really like this weapon. Much bigger swings on it, so I found this much better from a progression standpoint.
全性能也意味全防御都吃。
We'll go up a little bit ahead to kill another big guy.
好，1到900。哇，蓄力斩1440。
Typically, you need to worry. We got a nice one-handed poke on it. And with the golf swing. Actually, I think let me take off my shield real fast.
啊，
This sword's
拿
a
着
little
盾
bit
太重，他
heavier,
说把
so
盾拿下来。
those legs on, I gotta lower my weight a bit.
哦，他是2连蓄力。
You can see
打的怪都没办法还手了，还手了都已经。
Poise damage we do. We really are just kind of blasting our way through everything with these weapons. So, either way, let's jump back to the hub. We are going to, I think I already put it on. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I've been targeted. I don't know what happens if I warp after I'm targeted.
什么？
This might be,
还能遁地？遁地行走还可以。
连大件打击也一样啊，感觉各样小问题就会形成一根本问题，感觉距离1代不远啦。
他可以完全不被敌人发现。
他重攻击好快，没有蓄力吗？
Man, this dude's gonna think I'm hacking him or something.
有蓄力的，那个刚发蓝光的就有蓄力。他可以完全隐身。
So bad, Coop, whoever you are, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. He doesn't know what's happening. Oh, I feel bad.
完全不知道发生什么这个敌人。
Well, hopefully that gets patched.
哦，他在 PK。
Oh my god. There we go. Back to the hub. We are going to, I think I already put it on. Yeah,
会不会其实是 bugs 了？
Oh.
那是玩家啊。
那个是个玩家。
I don't know what happens.
他 PK 了。
After I'm targeted. This might be,
那个玩家装备明显没他好。
What
差
is
了
that?
几个档次了。
Here, and in this video, we're going to be taking.
那个玩家是个初始账号。
Perfect block with a pair of caps. They're around 50 and 75. Well, that's him.
啊，那个玩家来了。
I don't know what happens.
那个玩家是个初始账号。
I guess I'm invisible.
甚至不知道发生了什么事情。
Man,
换成了锤子。
I'm hacking him or something. Oh my god, I feel so bad. Coop, whoever you are, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. He doesn't know what's happening. Oh, I feel bad.
PVP 的时候的伤害会被折合掉的。他 PVP 一下就290的伤害了。
Well, hopefully that gets patched. All right. Not redoing it. Either way, let's build. Let's talk about the stats.
感觉纹身太强了。
We have strength,
原来是个。
we have endurance, we have vitality. Now I started with get strength up high enough to use our first real strength weapon, the Faithful Bludgeon, is
刚刚他说了和 quote. I hope that it will get patched and quote.
Get your strength up to 28 so you can use the Faithful Bludgeon. And then from there, it's just leveling those 3 depending on what you need. If you feel low on stamina, add a little bit more in endurance. If you feel low on health, add it into vitality. If you're feeling good in those categories and you want more damage, just keep upping that strength. Now, strength has 2 real soft caps. They're around 50 and 75. We start to see less
他说那个力量有2个软上限，一个在50，一个在70。他现在113级呢。
Turns after 50, so
我们开始看到50以后的这个
if you want to use
收益减少。
Strength weapons that are hybridized, stuff like Justice here, which requires 20 in Radiance. I'd still suggest use strength weapons that are hybridized, stuff like
我操，加10的武器啊，全都是力量 A 加他这个是要求你要有光明20的。
Justice here, which requires 20 in Radiance. I'd still suggest getting your strength up to 50 with a strength build, and then focusing on leveling up those auxiliary stats, stuff like Radiance, stuff like Inferno, if you're using weapons that require scaling from those. If you're using weapons that require just pure strength scaling, such as the 3 we're going to be looking at in this video, the Faithful Bludgeon, the Sword of Skin and Tooth, and then lastly the Iron Wayfarer.
好故意的上限数值刚好40、60加10。
And instead you can focus on just going into strength. But as you level up, Vitality has a soft cap at 40 and 60. 40 feels pretty good. Once you get up to 40, you're at 800 health, which feels all right. Getting it up to 60 boosts you up to a little bit over 1,000 if I remember correctly, so just a pinch more, but at least getting that to 40 is important. Now for endurance, that has a similar stat cap where it's soft caps at 40 and then once again at 60, but I don't really think you're going to need that much. I found 25 endurance to be more than enough for a build like this. For quite a long time I actually played with only 20 endurance, and then I added a little bit extra into it just because I started doing more charged heavy attacks. And then strength of course is going to be our main pretty low path. Of course, the Faithful Bludgeoned, the Sword of Skin and Tooth, and then lastly the Iron Wayfarer's Hammer. Now, the Faithful Bludgeon we can get super early in the game. We're going to show the exact location, but this is one of the first really nice strength scaling weapons. It requires 28 strength. This thing has the Grand Hammer type moveset, so scaling weapons. It requires 28 strength. This thing has the Grand Hammer type moveset, so very similar to the other hammer we were using. It's basically very forward facing, but that hit ends up hitting multiple enemies because, as you can see there, it has a front hitbox and a back hitbox, which is going to be pretty good. The two-handed spin attack on this, if we use L1 and R2, is going to go a little bit quicker. This is a point I ended up finding the Sword of Skin and Tooth. Now this is going to be what we're going to transition to after we find it.
Sword of
This is
Skin
going to
and
have
the
slightly
Touch.
less physical damage than the Faithful Bludgeon, but it adds fire damage into the mix, and it has a 200 burn status on it, which is it adds fire damage into the mix, and it has a 200 burn status on it, which is really going to be nice against bosses because we'll be able to proc that burn status and just add a little bit of extra damage over time. Now, the Grand Swords have a really nice moveset here. Very, very wide sweeps on the R1s, which makes it great for fighting off enemies in the Umbral Realm. The two-handed stance has really nice cross swings on it. Lots of forward momentum, so make sure you don't accidentally go off a cliff. A couple other things I like. The running R2 while one-handed. We have the Grand Sword middle of the game. It's roughly the 3rd zone. This weapon, all that much higher than what we had.
但大剑呢，好像属性加成没有大锤高。
Faithful Bludgeon. But once you get Sword of Skin and Tooth, you're almost set. This is potentially the best strength weapon in the game. If not, I would consider it the 2nd best. Just a very, very solid weapon when you consider the status effects and whatnot. But I do think it gets outclassed by one other choice, which we get very late in the game, the Iron Wayfarer's Hammer. Now this thing...
这个锤子，钢铁什么什么锤，这个是游戏大后期的武器。
It has an attack power over 1000 because it does physical and also does holy, fire, and wither. This is going to have the same moveset as the other hammer, but it's going to weigh later. You can see this only weighs 35.2 compared to the it's going to weigh later.
而且只要31的力量就能用。
You can see this only weighs 35.2 compared to the 41.3 on Skin and Teeth. And on top of that, with it being multi-damage, we are always going to have a slight damage advantage against enemies. So even if an enemy is resistant to Holy, he's probably weak to Fire. And if he's resistant to Fire, he's probably weak to Holy. So this actually ends up working very well. Split damage weapons like this aren't bad in this game at all. And this thing puts out a lot of damage because of that. On top of that, we are going to be S or A+ here. Even on the Justice, this only gets up to A+. Iron Wayfarers goes all the way up to S. Now this might also get up to S. I didn't level it up all the way because by the time I had this to +5, that's when I came into contact with Skin and Tooth. But those are the 3 weapons. A light shield on, working with for a strength playthrough. Additionally, I really like having a light shield on. While we can certainly get the perfect block or the parry, whatever you want to call it, with weapons, the window to execute that is going to be larger on a light shield. So if you can afford the weight, it's worth having a light shield on your back just to get those hits off on certain enemies and open them up to those big critical hits.
他说什么轻型盾非常重要，轻型盾可以更好的去反这个格挡。
As for your ranged, we have a couple different options here. The trapper crossbow we get fairly early.
他 crossbow 没有都加到顶。
In the game later on, we
操 crossbow 全部都是力量的东西，力量弓。哎，下面这个是连射的那个意思吗？连射十字弓吗？这个 mility 是多重射击弓吗
？We get the multi-shot crossbow. Both of these are going to be strength scaling, but if you don't want to deal with bows, we have a couple of solid thrown options. Both of these are going to be strength scaling, but if you don't want to deal with bows, we have
什么东西了？这是一个地狱的一个什么东西
？Have a couple of solid thrown options. I'm a big fan of the enhanced lump hammer. The lump hammer in general is just going to deal very nice. As you can see, 937 attack power. The bloody hatchets in general.
他喜欢丢榔头，因为榔头威力很大，可以一榔头砸出937。
Going to deal very nice. As you can see, 937 attack power. The bloody hatchet's not too bad. It's also going to cost 2 compared to 3, and 37 attack power. The bloody hatchet's not too bad. It's also going to cost 2 compared to 3. 937 attack power. The bloody hatchet's not too bad. It's also going to cost 2 compared to 3, and it does come out pretty fast. The bloody hatchet's not too bad.
那这种投掷物是怎么看升级的了？你像这个斧头就572了。
It's also going to cost.
就因为它力量高吗？那么力量是 B 加。
2 compared to 3, and it does come out pretty fast. But the lump hammer is my go-to for just bonking enemies. Besides that, I like the accusing spirit. You get this, I believe it was down in the depths, and objects out of trees. But if you want to go for throwing weapons, these are good solid choices. Alternatively, the trapper crossbow or multi-shot. And the other thing is you don't have to use these. Obviously, you could go for javelins or whatever you want. Trapper crossbow or multi-shot. And the other thing is you don't have to use these. Obviously, you could go for javelins or whatever you want. Javelins, burrowers, grenades, whatever's going to tickle your fancy. If you get early, even if it is a little bit heavier. Taking a look at the gear, this is mostly just fashion, but I really like the Scourge Sister Helm, the Tancred Gauntlets, since those have thorns all over them, and then Skin Stealer Legs, because the default on that, let me actually go mining on them. So even if you were using something like these, you could just go to Armor Tanked, hit it with a different Armor Tanked, and then change
它还可以
the armor, hit that red
它这个游戏比较好的就是可以你自己改装备的颜色。
None of this gear is particularly important. I really like how the head looks. So if you're going to prioritize,
你可以自己改成自己喜欢的颜色。
It looks like the dude from Blasphemous, and that's awesome. Which we are going to be covering that I went through. The proselyte garb, I think that looks really good with this. We have some nails sticking out of our character. Armor. good synergy there. I think that looks good. It has. As for our other stuff, the Warrior's Claw, we can get this pretty early. It's actually right next to where we find the blacksmith. There's a door that we can open right where we get the blacksmith, and to open that, you're gonna need to have the, if I can find it, where's the key at? This pretty early. It's actually
搜一下这个东西嘛，战士的齿轮啊。一个结合了强大的野兽爪子的吊坠，增加物理伤害和物理防御，围绕战士法官的崇拜形成大多宗教的核心信条是力量体术的品质。
Right next to where we find the blacksmith, there's a door that we can open right where we get the blacksmith, and to open that, you're gonna need to have the progressive. It's just going to increase our physical Mine Owner's Unfortunately, and then the Ring of Bones, very solid choice. As for the amulets, we went for stamina with Mine Owner's Ring, and then the Ring of Bones, increasing our maximum equipment load, which you can see does help quite a bit.
这个是最大装备负重。
Now, unfortunately, I don't remember exactly where I got Ring of Bones. I want to say it was making my way down into the depths, but I might not be right on that. I do remember the Mine Owner's Ring, however, and this is quite early, so we're going to show where to get that first ring towards the hub. Really all that important. Well, the Sword of Skin and Tooth. The last one, the Iron Wayfarer's Hammer. This you get incredibly late in the game, essentially as you're making your way to the final zone. It is a drop you get from a ball. Really be concerned. Let's play so. And there is an alternative. What you see me perch right there, and eventually you'll come up to here. You just gotta run on along. And I actually got stuck trying to find the transition axiom, and then over this platform, and then you were all strength weapon in the game. That's going to carry you to mid in the game, and then you're going to come this way straight. Don't feel like you have to if you want. Out of my warp mounts, so I don't have configurations because of the and some choices. I have it on Cold Rune because I sided with Sparky. If you side with him, you get that. If you side with the blacksmith, you get a Cold Rune. But so looking at the Sword of Skin and Tooth right now, I have two.
它可以往这个武器上装符文，每个武器最多装3个。
Overall, just the pure physical damage. The Iron Wayfarer's Hammer has 2 round slots and then a wild card slot.
哇操，这么多符文
！So insanely strong. You can put anything you want here. I ended up just rune. I'd probably is we have 2 slots, and for a while I had double Ixion.
它还是加了很多自己的这个私活在这个游戏里面的。
Which it's not going to be a double Ixion here. We could go for a shield. Right now I have that on, but if you're okay with that noise, slap Infernal to damage your regen coming in. Not with strength, you really just a lot of enemies, and especially if you can so nicely. So some more. Going up very, very small amounts, not a ton, but like I said, over time as you're fighting stuff, and you're killing, and then you're killing some more. I do think it adds up, especially because these little the withered guys, you know, you'll fight them in groups of like 3 or 4, and so it does end up combining to a fairly significant amount of healing over time, I think. But either way, that is going to wrap things up for the strength build. Really, really fun playstyle. Like I said, definitely a very strong build, capable of tackling pretty much anything the game's going to throw at you. I took this all the way to the end, you know, cleared the final boss, cleared all that stuff. Didn't have anything in particular that gave me trouble. If you want to go more defensive, you could run one of the heavy shields and just focus on blocking, and then follow up with like a solid one-hand or something like pure. That is going to be a waste. Either way, though, the style, especially you all the way through the required 20 radiance. There's 29 radiance empty here. I basically go bunga needs, but either way, we are going to wrap things up here. As for other build videos, other than that, I'm ready. So wrapping this one on up. Thanks for coming by, and I'll catch you all later.
这个人最后发到就是这个10号视频，还之前这13号视频。
Pizza Hut 俾你起雙批，外賣自取買1送1，有11款選擇。
權威機構突破性發現，美國銀線傳有效改善認知功能及記憶力。線傳。
Lords of the Fallen came out back in 2014, hot off the heels of Dark. Enjoyed it, but it here that it is these mechanics. It's something that I ended up enjoying quite a bit. Just for the record, to be a positive speed as the R1, R1, R2, alternative, and then alternative stats to use them. So for the example with the pointed stick here, this scales off Inferno, and it only requires Inferno, and that's something that I think is a fine weapons that just this sword I had some, then you would have your spells on. So spells in the caster, you would put a catalyst in those hands, and then you would have your spells on. So spells in this game are very simple. You would pull it up and then you just have 4 different spells on hot buttons. I believe there's actually catalysts that go up. Just hitting is pretty nice. And then but obviously the ability, whether you want to have our all the way up to enough of the, maybe there's one a bit because of we have and very standard Souls type enemies here waiting to try and ambush you and push you off ledges. And even the ambushes in this game don't feel too bad. It's going to exit the push me off that ledge. Lots of different in the locale, I think recursive and find earlier part of the zone. And this is a thing that Lies of P didn't really do all that well that I really like here. The recursiveness of the world, and on top of that, not just the recursiveness, but the freedom in the world approach. Like this is the very first area of the game, but after going through this, we are kind of propelled on towards a second region. After a lot by that, and we'll just stumble a bit later. Here we go, like absolutely get lost. We had a Souls game, but so the game definitely has that bit later in the exploration playthrough, which obviously made it even more steamrolling. But so the game definitely has that freedom of exploration, that feeling of getting lost in a Souls game.
他这个一个榔头敲了多少血？我没看到。
Freedom of exploration, that feeling
看不到。
of getting lost in a Souls game.
直接秒掉了，看不到。
I can guarantee people are going to play. We were playing early on, and that's while we have the complaint area, but we'll go gives you messages and visual audience. You know, so a lot of she wants to then know clear the file and look, hey, did we instance what player is since the buddy through 4 hours of content and then me going back co-op together for our up 100, that doesn't feel good for him. And I'm hoping that there just might be better connectivity when more players are in the game and soul level matchmaking. But from what I can tell right now, that does not exist. Very early, either these we're going to spend our boss stuff after we give him a certain key item, and we buy moving late into the game. I didn't have nearly enough of these shrimp. Let me get over to my key items so of the boss stuff that is available. Now you can farm these by killing like the Reaper enemy, a fish. A platinum, the Umbral Scour, those go for a platinum. It would take a lot of people and buy the big multi. I think it comes onto the weapon. We can't actually see. It never occurred that you were changing on armors. It wasn't even showing your encumbrance change. Thankfully, that's been patched because you would change your set back out of it, and then suddenly you're fat rolling. You're like, wait a minute, what? And then you'd go back in. More notes. At the end of the day, I mean, I still had a blast with the game. I've heard a lot of people saying they don't like how the person kind of showcased like a little shing. I think that may be what people don't like. You know, the hammer has a very... I think it's the kill sound that people are probably upset about, because the actual... Like the sound of the hammer is great, but the
锤子就比较慢一点，所以说它的最高攻击力比较高。
Big thing being at the bad, but they're definitely PC and talking to. But there were a couple game runs beautiful at Souls-like game quality, the graphics. So all in all, holding this. Different build styles that I definitely want to try in the game, so I am excited to jump back into it. But either way, we are going to wrap things up here for the review. I would recommend it. I certainly had a good time playing it. Whether you think it's for you, that's something for
匹诺曹也玩了很久，这个人。哇操！他这个配色有点牛逼，兄弟们。
What is that?
来看看这个什么高达。
Happening, y'all. Cowboy here, and for our final build video for a while, I wanted to pull from one of the most iconic mechs in the history of mecha. This is Wing Zero.
Wing Zero.
Created a bunch of the different decals to really pull it off. Very happy with how this has turned out. We would charge it up and do this just massive couple different things, and ultimately I sold 4D. We're working with the 20C on the arm squares. So we do PvP after this match while we wait for our next opponent. I mean, there's obviously tons more to do, but I mean, at this point, let me look at the playlist real fast.
街上那两个导弹放的时候会停住的，虽然命中率很高。
The safest way, at least at the start, is trying to keep them away a little bit, take some light shots with the Kurosawa, an occasional charge shot, and wait for the Chireno opportunity to hit that. You can see if somebody starts doing a little runner on you, pull that on out. And then the others, if they are a little slippery, you go for the, oh, well, probably a little bit late to shoot that. I should have just waited.
不行的，他这个肩膀炮一定要用4腿或者是坦克腿，打红的一瞬间立刻放松手才行。
Oh no, I survived that. There we go. I'm not sure what his plan is. Even going ducats and daggers way too late. I'm not sure what his plan is. Even going ducats and daggers way too late. Trying to go for a kick there. Did not work out how I was hoping. He's being very, very cautious for sure.
这枪命中率太低了吧
It's kind of how he has to play it, because he knows if he gets too close, it's over.
Buster
Cannon.
Buster Cannon.
Caught him in his own assault armor. Yeah, I wonder what he was doing.
嗯，现在看下来，那个猎人账号是用的人最少的，因为弓箭不强势。
You wanna watch a movie? You're going to need a big screen. Fly Emirates, fly better.
身體對撲熱息痛唔會產
叫我
生
去買
抗藥性，
阿聯酋航空。
每次發揮同樣藥效，必理痛。
So enemies that are in Umbral, like this guy right here.
Yeah.
Can he still hurt me?
Yes, don't let him hit you. You heard the chirp?
Oh, jeez!
There you go. He missed. It's in the bag. Oh, that's
哦，这是我们上次看过的那个。
effortlessness.
Okay, that's
okay. We need
where we are in the story.
firepower. The sentinels, and this is a sort of connecting tissue between these two mountains. You are down on that gorge. And you guys, if you look upstairs, up, all the way up, you're gonna see the cliffside, the port, and all those pools of baptism that you guys enjoy playing in the in our little press preview. So now we're on our way to Calrath, which is a mining community that has been sundered by demons effectively. We're going deeper and deeper into Rogar territory. This is still, you know, a natural landscape. But you guys will see that the deeper you will go in, more demonic apparitions will emerge.
Yeah, here we can choose a path either to the right, to the city of.
那这个游戏没有太刀的了。
To the left, on grounds gonna be there. I think you're gonna find what we call a crimson rectangle, and there's a lot of interconnectivity.
Beware with these guys; they are extremely vicious.
All right.
And they also lay down traps. That's why we call them trappers. That one is a trap.
已经是我们好几个礼拜之前看的吧，1个月之前的。
Incredibly effective against these guys.
也就是说，他这个游戏已经做好很久了。
Yeah, what you saw there was a technique that we call a soul flay.
It wasn't me.
糟了，这下现在在 PS 港服商城都搜不到这个游戏了。
对啊，我现在我就是说搜不到这个游戏。
100%, it is actually vicious. It has its own traversal options, its own mechanics.
哎呦，它这个火球是大号的。
The more time you spend in Umbral, the more difficult it is. The more apex, like the Umbral natives, are going to converge on you. You're going to start having hallucinations, see enemies pop in that are not there or they're not there. It is a very exotic, hellish landscape, and we hope players will explore its depth and its mechanics. So what you're doing right now is that, yes, that is a parasite, that is an Umbral parasite, that has a direct influence over the Crimson Rector, and making him more powerful.
YAYA 有玩手游吗？
手游啊，我很少玩手游哎。
So you can still
玩过一段时间原神。
But with the lamp, you can look into Umbral, and using what we call soul siphoning, you can effectively absorb the parasite, which is made of energy, into your lamp, and destroyed it in the process. So this is one of the mechanics. Soul flay, siphoning is one of the more exotic Umbral lamp-driven mechanics. He heals, man. He heals.
Can you make him stop? Stop making him heal. I don't like when he heals.
Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, the Hallowed Sentinels are very apt when it comes to radiant magic and healing, and this is effectively how it is. But since the host dies, you see the parasite over there?
Oh, nice. So now
right.
we can see it.
Destroy that. Now his posture is weak, and you guys. Sentinels are very apt when it comes to radiant magic and healing, and this is effectively how it is. But since the host dies, you see the parasite over there?
Oh, nice. So now we can see it.
Destroy that. Now his posture is weak, and you guys can kick him, use charged heavy attacks to stop him from doing all that magic effectively. The Crimson Rector is one of the chaplains of the Order. They wield radiant power. And for us, radiant power is close to, let's say, sunlight element.
Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Nice.
Let's go. And yes, sunlight is searing fire, figments of light, and of course, healing. Saul is out of mana.
Yeah, I'm trying to recover some.
Yeah, to give him the old
原神好像氪不少。
But he's out of
还好
posture again. You guys
2000多块钱。
Grievous respect. Well on him. Give him an honorable send-off. An honorable send-off.
原神这个游戏它有社交属性的，
There we go. There we go.
社交属性能提高你的这个
Well done.
社会资源
He was judged. He stood judgment.
能力的，所以说玩氪金还是有一定的成本的，还是有一定的这个回报的。
Oh yeah.
Look at this guy. Look at this loser on the ground right now.
So that is a bed of flowers, and you can craft.
我们圈子里一个玩原神的一个小伙子，他妈的10几个女朋友换下来了。
Beautiful.
But in order to do that, you need a.
不过也挺惨的，就是天天要给人家刷，
which are expensive.
一天要刷10几个账号。
And there is a very sneaky NPC.
舔到最后
Yeah, so
也能
here we
舔
can
上
see
床
we
的
get。to take the elevator up back to the Skyres Bridge, our hub, main
哎呀，
hub,
在国内就是这
or
么惨。
continue our adventure towards Kalrath.
Shall we see the burning gate of Kalrath? That is a striking, grisly visage. That is a bit far off. If you look far off into the distance, you might catch glimpses of the bridge that leads to that. And that is not fog, that is smoke from all the horrors that have been committed and atrocities in that city. That was one of the most striking locations.
Oh, sorry. I was admiring the scenery. You're getting kind of messed up over here.
Yeah, oh shit!
No, so
Excuse me.
this is the problem when you're playing magic users. You're
a bit flimsy.
You're a bit flimsy. You're a bit flimsy, but that's okay.
So
就是搞笑的是，他这个
see like the
队友对拉这个系统没有限制的
myself,
可以买
I've
了。
been invited to your party, right? Like
啊，有了吗？
I'm still receiving items. So
上架了
I receive bigger.
多少钱啊？
I can do pickups of things that the enemies drop.
是的。
So in short, when you're playing with other players, you can get a you can get a really
568
nice experience
哇操，568还行
of。all of that, right? Like you can grind in other players' worlds, you can get new gear, upgrade materials, etc., etc. There are some key items though, like keys, quest items, etc., that those are limited to the host to make sure that basically you don't break your progression in your own game, right?
Yeah. So it's not, you're not just doing co-op for charity. There's still something in it for you.
Well, you can still do it by the goodness of your own heart.
Oh my god, this is
And these demonic hounds are vicious. Absolutely vicious.
Yeah.
Now, Saul.
Oh, geez.
So,
manifest.
So now he has built a
totem.
A totem.
Yeah, you have to destroy that.
To destroy it.
Oh, okay.
Because he's super strong while the totem is active. Super strong.
Ow.
Aha, but the totem has ideas of its own. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Well done, well done, well done.
That's
Guys,
the
you can
totem.
do this. Like, you have it. 100%. Oh, another one. Will the seismic hammer destroy the totem, I wonder? Wow, you don't have any more mana. Okay.
Yeah, you see the.
Well then, you might need to, split
Oh.
the aggro. Split the aggro in.
All right, he's facing me.
Okay, great.
That totem.
It's almost out. Okay, it's out. Okay. You got him.
I don't have any more healing.
No more healing. Oh, he's 30% left. 30% left.
Nope.
You can do it. Saul, take it from me. Parry him.
Are these doing any? Oh, actually, they're doing pretty well.
They're doing very good, actually. You died?
Well, I'm in Umbral.
Okay, second win for both of you. Saul, you
还是
just got
Spox
back
便宜
some mana, by
，Q
the
均
way.
就用了380左右。
Excellent parry, guys.
啊，
You
那
have
如果合购的话，200块钱，
It's in the bag.
确实实惠。
Yes, of course. His shield is sentient. Here we go.
Oh, you made
Well
a
done.
totem.
Saul,
You have his aggro?
yes. Keep him on him. It's okay if Saul dies. He's the guest. They're expendable.
No. I don't want you to die.
Yes, please.
My daggers aren't doing much to this totem.
They are based on posture damage, so you need to charge.
Oh,
heavy.
okay.
Charge attacks. Okay, Saul is out of the fight.
Oh, man.
Saul is out of the fight. Ah, well done there. Very well done. Very well done.
游戏就贵到你没有朋友啊，真的。
Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Almost got him.
Well done. He's on his last legs. His last bended legs. Here we go. Oh, this is so tense.
Yeah, right. Sinner judged.
Well done. Very well
Did you
done.
die? Oh, no.
At the same time,
No.
we killed him and I died at the same time.
No, but that was
Bye.
excellent. everyone should remember your sacrifice. We will erect we will erect a vestige here in your name.
I will.
But
Yep.
see, if you look around here, you will notice a path diverging far into the distance that leads to a land of slaughter, where all the PvP players will be hanging out.
Oh, fun
Which
times.
is one of the places where the pyromancy NPCs is going to be located, and it's absolutely a demented place. And you
怎么办？买不买？我操！让我考虑一下，兄弟们，让我考虑一下，想清楚。好了，今天先下了，兄弟们。明天要是买好了，我早点上来，3、4点钟咱们上来玩啊。